So, good morning to one and all. Today we have discussed the shear capacity of the prestressed concrete section. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the how to find out the principal stresses, what is the effect of the prestressing on the shear, and we have discussed the calculation of the prestress stress due to prestressing shear stress. Now, as per IS 1343/2012, we can find out the section uncrack in flexure and second section crack in flexure, or we can say that not crack in shear. So clause number 23.4.1 IS 1343/2012, there are two sections. First section is the section uncrack in flexure. Uncrack in flexure, that means at the support section. The ultimate shear resistance of section uncrack in flexure, that is equal to VC is equal to VCO, is given by 0.67 B multiplied by D under root of F1 square plus 0.8 FCP multiplied by FT. Now what is B? B is the breadth of the member, which is for T, L or I section or beam should be replaced by breadth of the rib of the wave. We have considered the width of the or breadth of the wave for the different section. For rectangular section there is no problem, but for the flange section we can say the width BW as the width of the wave, that is the rib, and D is the overall thickness or depth of the member. FT is the maximum principal tensile stress taken as positive, given by 0.24 under root of FCK. That means it depends on the grade of concrete. FCK is the characteristics compressive strength of the concrete. Now FCP is equal to compressive stress at centroidal axis due to the prestress taken as positive, this FCP, and FT is equal to 0.24 root FC. Now in flange section, where the centroidal axis occurs in the flange, the principal tensile stress should be limited to 0.24 as we discussed in the last slide, FCK, at the intersection of the flange wave. In this calculation, 0.8 times the stress due to the prestress at this intersection may be used in calculating VCO. For the section uncrack in flexure and with inclined tendon or vertical prestress, the component of prestressing force normal to the longitudinal axis of the member may be added to VCO. That means inclined section is there, we can add P sin theta, or parabolic section is there, cable profile is there, we have considered the P sin theta along with the VCO. Now second clause number 23.42 section crack in flexure. Uncrack in, first is the uncrack in flexure, second is crack in flexure. Now the ultimate shear resistance of the section crack in flexure, VC is equal to VCR, is given by, in the bracket, 1 minus 0.55 FPE divided by FP multiplied by tau VC BD plus M0 V divided by M. Now what is FPE? This FP is the effective prestress after all losses have occurred, which shall not be taken as greater than 0.6 FP. It should not exceed the 0.6 FP. What is FP? Is the characteristic strength of the prestressing steel. Tau C is the ultimate shear stress capacity of section obtained from table number 8. And B is the breadth of the member, which for flange section shall be taken as the breadth of the wave, that is BW. D is the distance from the extreme compression fiber to the centroid of the tendons at the section considered, and M0 moment necessary to produce zero stress in the concrete at the depth given by. Now then we have used some expression, M0 is equal to 0.8 FPT divided by into I by Y. What is M0? Is the moment necessary to produce the zero stress in the concrete at the depth, where FPT is the stress due to the prestress only at depth of D and distance Y from the centroid of the concrete section. which has second moment of area I, and V is the shear force, M is the maximum bending moment at the section considered due to the ultimate load. VCR should be taken not less than 0.1 BD under root of FCK. The value of VCR calculated at a particular section may be assumed to be constant for a distance equal to d by 2, measure in the direction of increasing moment from the particular section. For the section crack in flexure and with inclined tendon, the component of stressing force normal to the longitudinal axis of the member should be ignored. That means P sin theta you cannot add here. Shear reinforcement. Clause number 23.43. When shear force V due to the ultimate load is less than VC, that is the shear capacity, the shear force which can be carried by the concrete, minimum shear reinforcement should be provided in the form of vertical stirrups. So ASV is the total cross sectional area of the stirrups leg effective in shear divided by B multiplied by SV. B is the width or breadth of the section. In case of flange section, it is the width of the web. 0.4 divided by 0.87 Fy. Fy is the characteristic strength of the stirrup reinforcement, which shall not be taken greater than 4.15. That means if the grade is given 500, even though we have considered 415 is the Fy, and SV is the spacing, stirrup spacing. So, however, shear reinforcement in not be provided in the following cases. Number 1, where V, that is the maximum shear force, is less than 0.5 times VC, that means shear resisted by concrete, 50%. In member of minor importance, then it is not necessary to provide the shear reinforcement. This is the table number 8, that is the design shear strength, tau C. It depends on the percentage of pre-stressing tendon or cable provided. AP is the area of the pre-stressing cable or tendon or strand divided by effective cross section BD multiplied by 100. That is the percentage of pre-stressing provided. 0.15 or less, M30 concrete, M35 and M40 are above. Depending on that, we can select the value of tau C. When we exceed the VC, that means the external shear force exceed the shear resisted by concrete, shear reinforcement shall be provided such that ASV divided by SV is equal to V minus VC, that is the net or additional shear divided by 0.87 Fy multiplied by dt. The depth dt is taken as the depth from the extreme compression fiber either to the longitudinal bars or to the centroid of the tendon, whichever is greater. In rectangular beam, at both corners in the tensile zone, a stirrup should pass around a longitudinal bar, a tendon or a group of tendon having a diameter not less than the diameter of the stirrups. Remember this thing. The spacing of the stirrup along the member should not exceed 0.75 dt nor 4 times the web thickness for range member. So, when we exceed 1.8 times VC, the maximum spacing should be reduced to 0.5 dt. The lateral spacing of the individual leg of the stirrup provided at a cross section should not exceed 0.75 dt. This is the maximum shear force. In no circumstances shear force due to ultimate load exceed the appropriate value given in the table number 9 multiplied by BD, that is the maximum shear stress. Maximum shear stress for M30 it is 3.5, 35 it is 3.7 and for M50 and over it is 4.8. That means if it should not exceed the table number as per table number 9. So the pre-stressed concrete, we have considered the one problem. A pre-stressed concrete beam of cross section 200 mm by 300 mm is required to support an ultimate shear force of 90 kN. The compressive stress at the centroidal axis is 5.5 MPa. Grade of concrete is M45. The cover to the tension reinforcement is 60 mm. Fe is equal to Fe 250 grade of steel is used for the stirrups. Design suitable shear reinforcement as per IS 1343 2012. If B is equal to 170 kilonewton, then design shear reinforcement. Here B is equal to 200 mm, B is equal to 90 kilonewton, FCP is equal to 5 MPa, D is equal to 300 minus 60. That means the small d. Cover is given 60 mm, so it is 240. And D is equal to H, that is the overall depth 250 mm, and grade of the shear reinforcement is 250 MPa. Now for the support section, that is the uncrack and flexure, VC is equal to VCR, we have used this formula. FT is equal to, we know, 0.45 root FCK, grade of concrete is M45, so it is 1.6. So VCO is equal to 0.67 into B is 200, D is equal to 300 multiplied by under root of FT, that is 1.61 square plus 0.8 multiplied by FCP. Now this FCP is equal to 5.5 into 1.61. So we get the 125.05 kilonewton is the shear capacity of the support section. As VC is greater than V, because the maximum shear force is greater, it is already given. So provide minimum shear reinforcement in the form of vertical stirrup. Here I assume 6 mm diameter bar, 2 leg vertical stirrups. So SV is equal to 0.87 Fy, ESV divided by 0.4 B. It is similar to RCC. So 2 leg stirrups, so 2 multiplied by pi by 4 into square of 6, and 0.4 multiplied by B is equal to 200. We get the 153.71. This value should not exceed 0.75 dt, that is 0.75 multiplied by 240 or 4 times the BW, 4 multiplied by 2. Take the least value. So this is less than 180. So we can provide 2 leg vertical stirrups of 6 mm diameter, 150 mm center to center at the support. This is the shear reinforcement. So remaining problem will be discussed in the next lecture. Thank you. Thank you.